10 heavily guarded locations on Earth with insane security features that you have never seen before. These are the top 10 most heavily guarded locations on Earth. 1. Fort Knox in Kentucky, USA. Fort Knox houses many of America's monetary assets, including around 5,000 tons of gold. The bank vault is hidden in a basement with a 250-ton door at the entrance, and the building itself is reinforced with steel to protect it from attacks. If that wasn't enough, the entire location is surrounded by a military camp, plus rumors that the site includes electric fences, landmines and laser-triggered machine guns. Fort Knox is home to the U.S. Bullion Depository, where it not only stores thousands of tons of gold, but is also said to house important historical documents such as the Magna Carta and the Declaration of Independence. Its impenetrable layers of protection include solid granite wall perimeter, squadrons of machine gun-wielding guards and armed military, and a 250-ton vault blast door held shut by a lock so intricate that it requires a 10-person team to unlock. 2. Vatican Secret Archives in Vatican City, Italy. The headquarters of the Roman Catholic Church includes archives housing some of the most sacred and rare documents in religious history. The skeptics have various theories behind the secrecy, including the cavern hiding Gospels that contradict the Bible, it housing the earliest known collection of pornography, and holding plans to control the world. Housed in a heavily protected area of the Vatican are 53 miles of shelves containing documents relating to the Catholic Church, dating as far back as the 8th century. Some artifacts include a letter from Mary Queen of Scots begging Pope Sixtus V to save her from beheading and documents of Martin Luther's excommunication. An estimated 35,000 volumes of information are stored here, and it's so secretive that very few photos of the place exist. Information is passed down from pope to pope, and only a research officer can enter the archives with special permission, which is granted very rarely. But even the few lucky ones with granted entry inside the heavily guarded facility cannot enjoy the view of the rarest items without advanced approval. Since the facility has been virtually cut off from civilization, skeptics have gathered from around the world to mull over possible theories that could explain the secrecy. However, nobody has ever managed to unveil the century-long enigma floating around the place. 3. Federal Reserve Bank of New York. Federal Reserve Bank in New York has a security so tight that it's entrusted with more U.S. gold bullion than the famous Fort Knox. Men aren't even allowed to enter the bank's vault since pallets are moved around by a team of robots. To top it off, a Jason Bourne-level protection force watch its perimeter. Their shooting range scores are so good they're even better than marksmen. The bank's security systems are so trusted that even foreign governments use it for gold storage. Much of the gold in the vault arrived during and after World War II, as many countries wanted to store their gold reserves in a safe location. As of 2019, the vault housed approximately 497,000 gold bars, with a combined weight of about 6,190 tons. The vault is able to support this weight because it rests on the bedrock of Manhattan Island, 80 feet below street level and 50 feet below sea level. The vault is safeguarded by a comprehensive multi-layered security system, highlighted by a 90-ton steel cylinder protecting the only entry into the vault. The 9-foot-tall cylinder is set within a 140-ton steel and concrete frame that, when closed, creates an airtight and watertight seal. Also, once closed, 4 steel rods are inserted into holes in the cylinder and time clocks are engaged, locking the vault until the next business day. Security is further enhanced by the massive steel-reinforced concrete walls surrounding the vault and 24-hour monitoring of activity inside and outside the vault by security cameras, as well as the use of motion sensors when the vault is closed. Continuous supervision by the Vault Control Group also ensures that proper security procedures are followed at all times. Additionally, the gold is protected by the New York Fed's robust building security system and the Armed Federal Reserve Police Force. 4. The White House, Washington, D.C., USA. The first president of USA, George Washington, selected the site for the White House in 1791. The following year, the cornerstone was laid. As you'd expect, the home of the President of the United States is heavily guarded, and it remains one of the most secure buildings in the world, with features including an iron fence around the entire premises, bulletproof windows, a nuclear bunker, and a 15-mile radius no-fly zone over the area. There are even special taste testers employed to ensure that no food for the president has been poisoned. In order to be given the tour of the highest office in the land, you must submit an application at least 21 days before your scheduled visit. This gives the security an accurate head count and the ability to perform background checks on visitors. The White House has the most impenetrable windows known to man. In November 2011, an attacker fired 7 rounds from a semi-automatic rifle into the White House, but not even consecutive shots could shatter a window. Every inch of the perimeter is surrounded in infrared lasers that detect even the most minuscule threat against the White House. These lasers blanket everything to include the sky, the surface, and even underground. Washington, D.C. is a no-fly zone. Any plane not scheduled or following the strict path into Ronald Reagan National Airport are first given a warning. If they don't show any sort of compliance immediately, they'll be taken down by one of the countless surface-to-air missiles located around the capital. 5. Bold Lane Car Park in Derbyshire, UK. It may not be as fancy as the places listed above, but this UK car park is one of the most secure buildings around. Following a wave of crime and drug abuse, the car park was fitted with a range of high-tech security equipment. Each driver gets a unique barcode ticket that's synchronized with their driving space. There's a movement sensor under each car which goes off if it's moved without permission, plus an impressive 190 surveillance cameras. You can't get in unless you have a ticket indicating your exact parking spot. And once your car is parked, it is protected by motion detectors and other alarms that will go off if someone messes with your car. If the alarm does go off, the whole place goes into lockdown mode. 6. Area 51 in Nevada, USA. Most people are aware of at least one conspiracy theory surrounding Area 51, and it remains one of the most secure places on Earth. The military research facility is protected by motion sensors, a patrol of armed guards, and a no-fly zone throughout the entire site. Area 51 is synonymous with tales of UFOs, government cover-ups, and potentially testing alien technology. Located in Nevada, this top-secret Air Force base is so well guarded that no one can get in, even flying over it is forbidden. Area 51 is covered in motion sensors and is heavily patrolled by all sorts of vehicles. It is the home of anything pertaining to UFOs and alien conspiracies. In the middle of the barren Nevada desert, there's a dusty unmarked road that leads to the front gate of Area 51. It's protected by little more than a chain-link fence, a boom gate, and intimidating trespassing signs. The U.S. military finally acknowledged the existence of Area 51 in 2013 after a formerly classified CIA document detailing the history of the U-2 spy plane was obtained by the National Security Archive at George Washington University. But that acknowledgement doesn't mean that a visit to the base is advisable. Radford said that there are still legitimate government and military reasons for keeping the base's activities secret. The military classifies Area 51 as a military operating area. On the ground, you'll encounter stern signs and armed guards patrolling the fenced perimeters guarded by buried motion sensors, cameras, guards, and so on, plus signs warning that deadly force is authorized. The borders of Area 51 are not fenced but are marked with orange poles and warning signs. 7. Haven Co. Limited in Sealand. Haven Co. Limited was a data hosting services company, founded in 2000 to operate from Sealand, a self-declared sovereign principality that occupies a man-made former World War II defensive facility originally known as Ruff's Tower, located approximately 6 miles from the coast of Suffolk, southeast England. It is situated on the top of large concrete pillars in the middle of the North Sea. This data protection company is located in the North Sea off the coast of Britain. The only people ever allowed in Haven Co. were authorized personnel, investors, and members of Britain's royal family. It was allegedly shut down in 2008 with no clear explanation as to why and what data was stored here. 8. The GreenBrier Doomsday Bunker. The GreenBrier is an exclusive resort that's spread out across 6,500 acres and lies deep within the forests of West Virginia. Underneath it lies a 25-ton nuclear blast door, with tunnels behind it which create a nuclear bunker that is filled with supplies for members of the U.S. Congress to weather out a nuclear attack. In the late 1950s, a team from the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers was tasked with scouting a location for a bunker that could house members of Congress in the event of a nuclear attack. They settled on the high-end GreenBrier Resort in White Sulphur Springs, West Virginia, which is easily accessed from Washington, D.C. but far enough to offer guaranteed protection from a nuclear attack on the Capitol. Buried 720 feet underground and safeguarded by gigantic blast doors and layers of reinforced concrete, the bunker features 2 levels and stretches over 112,544 square feet. Hidden in plain sight, the cavernous halls would have been used for sessions of Congress. They were integrated into the hotel, and would have been sealed off had nuclear war broken out. This part of the facility houses the decontamination room, 18 dorms with 30 bunk beds apiece, a kitchen stocked with 6 months' supply of food, a 400-seat cafeteria and a TV conference room packed with broadcasting equipment that originally featured a backdrop of the Capitol building. There's also a hospital, pharmacy and even a jail packed with straitjackets. The rumors that a mysterious government facility existed under the resort were confirmed in 1992 when the Washington Post ran an article exposing the bunker. With the secret out, it was promptly declassified and decommissioned, and these days serves as a data storage center, as well as a tourist attraction. 10. ADX Florence Supermax Prison. The Administrative Maximum Facility, or ADX, is a Supermax prison for men in Colorado. The prison houses the most dangerous cons in the U.S., which earned the prison the nickname Alcatraz of the Rockies. Security measures at ADX include attack dogs guarding the area between the prison walls and 12 feet. High razor wire fences, 1,400 remotely controlled steel doors, motion-detecting laser beams, pressure pads and cameras. One former ADX warden described it as a cleaner version of hell. Well, you can be sure that no prison break is going to happen here. The prison is home to some of the most dangerous men in the world. It has the most advanced security arrangements any prison has ever. It houses around 400 inmates and it is heavily guarded that no one has a chance to escape. It is described as the cleaner version of hell. Drug kingpin Joaquin El Chapo Guzman, known for repeatedly escaping from Mexican prisons, is now at a federal prison in Florence considered escape-proof. Guzman, 62, arrived on July 19 at the Administrative Maximum U.S. Penitentiary. This brought new attention on the prison that critics consider an incubator for mental illness. He joined some of the world's most notorious criminals already at the prison, including Unabomber Ted Kaczynski, Oklahoma City bombing conspirator Terry Nichols and 1993 World Trade Center bomber Ramzi Yousef. After a quarter-century of operation, no one has ever escaped from Supermax. Prison inmates have been diagnosed with insanity while incarcerated there, or already existing conditions of mental illness have worsened. The Supermax prison was built after 2 Aryan Nation offenders, Thomas Silverstein and Clayton Fountain, murdered 2 correctional officers in separate attacks on the same day at the United States Penitentiary in Marion, Ill. in 1983. An inmate passed Silverstein a shank, or prison knife, while he was being escorted to his cell after a shower, and he stabbed Officer Merle Klutz 29 times. That afternoon, a different inmate slipped Fountain a shank and he stabbed Officer Robert Hoffman to death. Most of Supermax's 400-plus inmates are alone for 23 hours a day in 7 by 12-foot reinforced concrete cells. Massive 12-gun guard towers overlook the prison. Cell furniture includes a small desk stool and bed made from concrete. Beds have thin mattresses. Each cell has a window that is 42 inches tall and 4 inches wide without mountain views. Many cells have a radio and black and white television that offers religious and educational programming. Supermax has an ultra-secure unit, so-called Range 13, a 4-cell wing in the prison's disciplinary unit, where prisoners have virtually no human contact. They are under camera surveillance 24 hours a day and get one 15-minute non-legal phone call a month. Former Supermax inmate Jack Powers spent nearly 10 years in the disciplinary unit. He bit off both pinky fingers, severed his earlobes and cut off his genitalia. Now that is serious stuff.